We farm a lot this place, but we don't have access roads. So we went to local government. We met with the chairman. We were able to interact with him. We told him our problems and the problems we women encounter. We need to be empowered because those are farm products. If we can get access road, we make more profit and it will encourage many people. So we were opportuned. He built Obinagu Road for us from scratch. I never knew our local women can even talk to the powers that be and sit with them, discuss with them, tell them our problems without gun and knife. You get what you want. Just simple, through advocacy.
The key to unlocking the vast potential of any nation is neither its natural nor mineral resources, but its people. It always has been. At the heart of voice interventions is the mantra, now us. Nothing about us without us. All voices matter. Voices can and should be amplified. Voices can be collectively projected to ensure representation and influence decision making.
I was young and crazy. So I was young and crazy, young creative that just wants to just talk about anything, just live your life anyhow. But that advocacy movement made me intentional. It just made me understand that, okay, you are a creative, you have this talent, you can actually use it for social change. We have been taught to air our opinions in the way that a market woman selling akara on the street to understand that, yes, truly, now so it's supposed to be.
Before this time, once a woman come into the park on decent dressing, people used to at least look very, very down her. All have so many names and cajole her, do so many things. But with the seminar, in fact, we have made to understand that that is, if we want to correct her from having a very decent dressing, that's not how to go about it. At least we should first of all respect her, get her attention, maybe find a way of talking to her and made her to understand that as a woman, she's supposed to keep herself very well.
And before now, we going to the airport, it's not really easy for us as a visually impaired person. I need my family to wait for me. So that actually discouraged me not to really use flying by air. But when I assessed the project, it was really, really great. The aide came, took my luggages, took me to the terminal, and it was really a very, very beautiful experience. It was stress-free.
The project Under Influence for Change sought to amplify voices and the representation of marginalized populations to galvanize policy articulation and implementation that drives positive action towards shrinking existing inequality gaps. Under this theme, youth, persons with disabilities, indigenous ethnic communities, inmates, and men and boys advocating against gender-based violence have employed innovative approaches to the increasingly complex challenges they face in achieving social change.
You know, before in this community, we are just living on our own. Nobody is there to correct you anything, you are just living on your own. So these people, this police brutality challenge, we used to face it there. Sometimes they will just come into our room, start searching us, take us to their station without doing nothing. We don't even know what we did. But through this project, a person like me, there is not any police that can challenge me again. Because I already know the project, I know my rights. I know even if the police challenge me, there is process that I can follow to report him.
Initially, giving money to the so-called security agents was seen as a trend. You understand? It was seen as a fad. People were just doing it because they thought it was a normalcy until these guys came up and started getting a lot of us educated, making us to be aware that corruption, this endemic corruption, should be wiped away from the system. In fact, I want to thank them so much because the members of this union are now aware, more aware, educationally aware, so to say, morally aware, to know it, that it is bad for you to begin to dole money to any policeman you see on the road.
Yes, we've protested, but what happens after protest? What exactly are we aiming to achieve? Are we just angry? Are we just unnecessarily directing our anger without any form of direction? So I know that what the program was about was to give us a sense of direction and help us move from not just ranting and shouting on the streets, but actually making sustainable change.
The NSAS movement in Nigeria emerged from a mix of injustices that sparked protests against police brutality and government failures. In the aftermath, Voice backed 6 innovative projects by social justice advocates in response. The projects were tailored for Nigerian youth with the aim of channeling anger into constructive action. Key to their success was a focus on amplifying rights holder voices in the fight for social justice. The youth have always been a powerful force for driving social change. Despite the changes they face in achieving this, the projects centered around social behavior change patterns aimed at helping right holders like themselves recognize the power of their voice and take a firm stand in the fight to increase social justice in Nigeria. Imagine being told that you do not deserve certain rights because of factors beyond your control.
Kamin shiga kungiyar rayuwar da nake ba a cikin sani na ba. Zan iya zauna kusa da namiji ban sani ba. Namiji zai iya taba jikina ba tare da yarda na ba kuma ya ci zarafi na ban sani ba. To da na shiga kungiyar nan na gane ba kyau namiji ya taba jikinki ba tare da yardanki ba.
Before, my life was full of too much stress, eating anyhow, drinking anyhow. But since when I joined this organization, I got to know that there are some things I have to put limits to it. So if you compare my before life with now, our difference there plenty. Even at times my children go, they tell me, Mama, I be like said, where you they go, so it better for you. You will be said now, you for don dey take about 2 sachets.
Voice champions inclusion, and this means that all people, regardless of their abilities, disabilities, or healthcare needs, have the right to be respected and appreciated as valuable members of their communities. Everyone deserves a seat at the table. Through the Celebrating Inclusion projects implemented under the Nothing About Us Without Us awards, diverse voices who are too often relegated to the margins are being empowered toward a sustainable society.
Da ni na zama kamar na zama cikin kabari ne ma ban san inda nake ba ma, amma da na shiga wannan kungiya gaskiya ya bani haske. Har ni zai iya je yi noma, in samu dan wani takin sa abin da na noma. Har ma ga yana da amfani sosai musamman kamar dan shinkafa. Na sa dan taki gaskiya ba dai kyau ba. Gaskiya na amfana sosai a wannan group.
Gaskiya da lokacin da ban fara zuwa wajen nan ban na cikin damuwa. Tunda yara na in sun fita za a dake su. Ana musu abubuwa da dama. In yi ta kuka lokacin har da dare ma sai in kasa bacci. Amma tunda na fara zuwa kuma wallahi yanzu ba ni da damuwa komai a raina alhamdulillah. Na gode wa Allah, Allah ya bani su ga sunan guda 3.
I was a victim of gender-based violence. My boyfriend left me. I was all alone with my baby and I was just 18 or so, 18. So my baby is 2 years old now. There was no source of income, we were just suffering. So when this program came up, I decided to go with it, just to try my luck, if it would work for it. And it really helped me. And now I feel for myself, I'm fine, I'm living a happy life. So I was surprised that they bought us this machine and even opened the shop. I never expected it.
Across a landscape where voices often struggle to be heard, the Voice Empowerment Grants paved the way for a brighter, more inclusive future for the right holders. Over the past 8 years in Nigeria, Voice has continually enhanced the capacity of organizations, vulnerable groups, and networks to empower, amplify, and advocate for the rights of individuals for an inclusive society.